All right, the weekend box office results are in. American Sniper has held on to the #1 spot for the third week in a row, making $31.8 million and making it the highest-grossing film on Super Bowl weekend of all time. The film has now made $249 million at the domestic box office. In the #2 spot is the family film Paddington, making just over $8.5 million in its third weekend of release, bringing its worldwide total to almost $200 million and over $50 million domestically. The third spot went to the new film Project Almanac, bringing in $8.5 million. In fourth is the new Kevin Costner film Black or White, making $6.4 million, and rounding out the top 5 is the Jennifer Lopez film The Boy Next Door, making $6.1 million. Also debuting this past weekend was the film The Loft, which came in the 10th spot at the box office, making just slightly over $2.8 million. John, what stands out to you about these box office results?
Well, I mean, obviously you got to start with American Sniper, breaking the record for most money ever made at the box office on a Super Bowl Sunday, just narrow, by the most narrow of margins. Beating, like, I think it made like 31.8. The former record was 31.2 or something like that. Does anybody want to take a guess what it was if you didn't look it up already?
Didn't look it up.
It was the Miley Cyrus movie.
Wow.
That concert movie starts. That was the former record holder. So that great legs for that film. It just keeps on rolling and keeps on steaming along. And also, obviously, The Loft. The Loft is a movie that was finished shooting in 2011. And it did not fare so well. I mean, they delayed this film and delayed this film and delayed this film. We now know why. And then when they did finally settle on a release date, they put like no marketing behind it whatsoever. Just hid it ever so neatly under a pillow somewhere. So really shakes. I was looking forward to that movie a lot, but those are the things that stand out to me. What about you, Christian?
Paddington. I love that Paddington jumped in at #2. I love that. I mean, that shows you good word of mouth, and the fact that, because it's funny that to hear Sinead say domestically and talk about it here. To be fair to that movie, domestically for that movie was when it came out in like December or whenever in London, and it crushed there and it crushed here. And I'm glad it transferred over because it's if you haven't seen Paddington, go see it. It's awesome.
Yeah, made over $200 million now.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Wow. And you know, American Sniper doing what it's done is just it's insane. I had a conversation this morning with my father-in-law just figuring out like why it made so much. Like it's kind of a phenomenon of how it's made as much as it has. And then I'm glad Almanac made 8.5. I would have liked to see him make a little more because I thought it was going to be terrible, and I actually enjoyed watching the movie. So,
Schnepp?
Yeah, for me, it's a Black or White. I'm shocked that it made that much money with almost no publicity. I mean,
yeah, very little publicity, right?
And yeah, I'm super happy that Paddington went back to #2. What an enjoyable film. It's a little shocking to me, the American Sniper craze, where it's just like. It's just growing fervor. I think it'll be #1 on next week too. I don't know. It just feels weird.
Well, it's got to contend against Jupiter Ascending next week, so I don't know.
It'll be #1.
You think so?
Yes.
I think Jupiter Ascending is going to take the #1 spot. Yeah. What do you think, Mark?
I wouldn't have been as surprised with American Sniper if it wasn't the Super Bowl weekend, because, like you said, the previous record holder was a Miley Cyrus film, which caters to the opposite demographic of hardcore football fans.
Right.
So not only do you have guys like it feels like a movie where man's going to want to go see American Sniper. No, everybody wants to see this movie because I think the controversy that just keeps all these personalities on television are coming out and talking about this film, whether they support it, whether they disagree with every message that it ever would want to send. People are talking about it, and that's why it's making so much money. I agree with Christian. I think Project Almanac is a little bit disappointing because I like that movie, and it's a cool found footage style film where it's not a horror film. It's more like Chronicle than it is like The Devil's Due. So I think it's a neat movie, and you should check it out. And Paddington, obviously, it's probably one of my favorites of the year so far.
Project Almanac also didn't do a good job with that film reminding people when that damn film was coming out. Because remember, it was supposed to come out before, right? And then it got delayed. So then people hear about it again. I don't think they did a good enough job marketing, making sure people understood when this film actually opens. I think a lot of people still don't know it's even in theaters.
I didn't until like Sunday. I was like maybe going to see a movie yesterday, and then I was like, oh, what? But but I'm planning on seeing Project Almanac. I've been waiting for it, so let's go see it.
One question though with that movie though is that there's virtually unknowns throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a found footage movie. How much did it really cost to make? Not that 8.8 is going to cover all your costs, but with everything that happens down the line with Blu-ray and maybe next weekend, they could probably break even from this movie, from the fact that it probably cost nothing.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.